We had epidemics like the Ebola epidemic in Africa that should have gotten us ready. Then we had Zika, but a respiratory pandemic that's very widespread, really we haven't seen anything like this for the 100 years. And I actually thought that anniversary of 1918 would galvanize people as well. So a few things were done. Some countries, even without that preparing in advance, have acted in a way that made sure that very few of their citizens die and they don't have to shut down their economy. Now all the countries that have widespread infection, like the United States, we need to learn from each other about how you not only flatten the numbers, but to get them down. And then, with luck, in early June, if the whole country does a better job of shutting down and we get prioritization of the testing that's going on, what policies should we have? Because until we get almost everybody vaccinated globally, we still won't be fully back to normal. We want to go, and manufacture and do construction and go to school, but there will be things like big public events where the risk will outweigh the risk of a disease rebound.
So you just said June, but we aren't going to have any vaccines for probably a year. So I can't even imagine going out to a crowded restaurant or anything in June or July if we don't have vaccines. How do you see us acclimating back into a normal life when we don't have the cure for this?
Well, your point's a very good one, which is even if we're doing the right things where we've fixed the testing problems, we're making sure people are strict about quarantine, we're doing really good contact tracing. And so the government is able to encourage some type of activities to resume. Even so, the populace has been thinking about this infectious disease enough that people will be reluctant. Even, they say, okay, it's fine to send your kids to school. I hope we have enough proof that everybody will feel like they go along with that. Or if you want to reopen a factory, do enough workers show up that you can really engage in that activity. Some things like restaurants will probably have more spacing and the demand will be reduced because what we've all gone through here. But we need to start getting things back to normal. They won't be back to normal until we either have that phenomenal vaccine or a therapeutic that's like over 95% effective. And so we have to assume that's going to be almost 18 months from now.
Speaking of that, there's no cars on the road, very few planes. It's obviously affecting the economy in a bad way, but the planet is benefiting from this. And I know that's been important, the environmental issue for you. They just said the air in Los Angeles is cleaner than it's ever been in the history of, ever. That's amazing.
Yeah, I wish that all our jobs could be done from home as well as your job and my job, but for people who are in restaurants or factories or construction or cleaning, they're looking at their livelihood going away. And so sadly, like many bad things, those who are in the toughest circumstances are going to bear most of the pain. And so we want to get into this semi-normal phase as soon as we can. And then the vaccine is the thing that will change things. And that's why, really figuring out how do we make sure it's safe, because that when you give it to 7 billion healthy people, that's super important. So